you all are fantastic composers as a duo, and you also have your own Pentagram band.
Yeah.
Now, like many in this industry say, I do Bollywood for the money and I do my own music because that is me.
Hmm.
That's usually what we get to hear.
Yeah.
So is it something that everybody also needs to kind of adapt to, that do Bollywood just because there's money and do your own music independently? What is your
No,
take
I
on
mean,
that?
don't do anything just because of money. Um, but I mean, at the end of the day, if you ask me, I will do anything to not have to sit at a desk. Anything. I'll do anything. You know what I'm saying? I will do anything. I'll work on a sailboat if I have to. I just don't want to be at a desk. I cannot be. You know what I'm saying?
Like an office job?
हाँ, I can't. वो 9 to 5 मेरे से नहीं होगा.
Right.
I learned this very early in my life. I tried to work with my dad, and it was just an impossible thing for me. Like I wanted to die. It was like that. It was miserable. I was miserable every day. So music was the great escape for me in my personal life as well. Just listening to it, as well as then becoming part of it by making it. It was a very natural thing. Like I said, it wasn't constructed thinking about यहाँ पैसा मिलेगा, यहाँ satisfaction मिलेगा, ऐसा नहीं है. Pentagram is something that happened to me. I'm very, very grateful that it did happen to me. That I met these guys, Shiraz, Randolph, Papal, and we've carried it so far together. And then of course I met Shekhar, and then we did the film music, and we got an opportunity, I believe, to change a lot of things in the way film music is made. You know what I'm saying? So there's a great deal of satisfaction to that also. Also, the first time your song is heard by 1 billion people, it's very hard to beat. At the end of the day, a musician, right? I believe. I mean, I may be wrong, and I'm sure there are a lot of arty musicians who'd get vehemently upset, with what I'm about to say. But every musician makes music to be heard. To a large part, there's a sort of, there's an undeniable craving and greed for sort of, everyone should hear my voice or my song, And like I said, also, fortunately for me in my childhood, there was no discrimination between one form and the other form. So I'm able to love both, But certainly Pentagram, like I always say, Pentagram is who I am, and everything else is what I do. You need to have the distinction, certainly, in your mind. But whatever you do also, you should do for the right reasons. It can't just be about money, because then it'll just be shit. I mean, you know what I'm saying? If you really want to make music, you have to care at the end of the day about what you're putting out. You have to be attached to every song for whatever it's worth, It may not be, you may not consider it your life's work, but 1 billion people are listening to it, and you have to respect that, and sort of, whatever you're putting out should have an honest emotion to it. Of course, in conjunction with the film. The way I see it, with Pentagram, it's not commercial. We don't think about how many records we're going to sell. We don't think about anything except what we're trying to say, and how we feel in that moment, and what we are influenced by, and what we are thinking about. All of that comes out in that music. Whereas with film music, your first encounter with the film is the script, which is a story which is not your story, which you have to imbibe to tell that story through your music. Then you have the director who has interpreted that story musically, well or badly, that's a different issue, but in their heads, they have a vision towards it. Now, the director is very clearly the person who's approaching you to do the music for the film. So you have to bear the director's vision in mind. Then, of course, there's a commerciality aspect to it. There's Bhushan Kumar, who has legendary musical taste, and who also becomes a factor sometimes. It does happen, and it happens for everybody, whether it's Rahman or whether it's Shankar Ehsaan Loy, or whether it's us or whether it's Pritam or whoever it is. It happens. These are the parameters that you work within, when you're making film music, and therefore, in a way, it can never be wholly your music, So
you get inputs from all of these.
Yeah, and within those parameters, you try and do the best you can. You try and make it as honest as you can, and you try and feel it as much as you can.
Do you ever try to say that, I have already this song or this kind of a feel in my Pentagram song? Why not adapt that to a film song? I mean, why not give listeners a different kind of a feel?
Well,
experimenting, basically.
It's a really good question, but the thing is, Pentagram is not involved with the film aspect of things at all. And Pentagram's sort of sound and direction is the four of us. It's Papal, Shiraz, Randolph, and me in a room, bashing it out, or talking about where it's going, or what we want to say. So that's what defines Pentagram. It's not just me, by a long shot. I mean, like, I'm the smallest cog in the Pentagram wheel. Um, and similarly for Vishal and Shekhar, like I said, all these factors plus Shekhar plus we define, where that music will go. So while I remain unchanged, the 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 circumstance or the environment that I'm working in and the message I'm trying to convey are two totally different things. So one and the other don't overlap at all in that way. But yeah, in terms of sensibility, of course, like, I mean, because of Pentagram, Vishal and Shekhar are constantly searching for something new to do. Because that's my upbringing, my musical my school is Pentagram. And Pentagram has always sort of sought out new and strange things. And that's exciting for me. So with Vishal and Shekhar also, we're constantly searching for that. And Shekhar brings a sort of he's an immensely studied, immensely talented, immensely qualified musician, as opposed to me. I'm pure, instinct, and just, what I do may be great or may be bad. I can't guarantee it. It depends on the day. And first of all, you need someone to tell you if something is bad. That's really crucial. And secondly, to bring sophistication and musicality and sort of musical depth, to it. So that's how we kind of work together. It's a pretty
complementing each other.
Yeah, it's a pretty fortunate partnership in that way.
You were saying that you have in film songs you have inputs from a lot of different people in the film team.
Yeah.
So
I don't know. No, you don't have inputs to the song per se.
Okay.
But you have sort of requirements that are given to you.
Correct. So if somebody comes and tells you that I want a Sheila की जवानी जैसा एक दूसरा बना दो,
हाँ, वो हम लोग नहीं करते. अपना
तो ऐसे कुछ ला दीजिए सर, ऐसा करके.
ऐसा कुछ. I mean, I won't say it's not happened, but our reaction is always like that कि वो तब हो गया, अब देखते हैं क्या होता है.
No, but वैसे ही groove डालो, वैसा ही. Do you
वैसा ही we don't do, no.
Okay.
That's why Sheila की जवानी not happened again.
Right. So when you sit down to compose a song, for example, you're given the script, you're given the whole kind of perspective to the song and situation.
Yeah.
How do you as a composer, or y'all together as a composer, start building the melody? Do you play an instrument? Do you go out?
I mean, I play a little guitar. Shekhar, of course, is a very highly trained piano player. He also plays guitar. Most of the time, though, we end up composing at the coffee shop, which is down the street.
Okay.
So we listen to it. A lot of the times, what the director is saying gives you an idea of where the song needs to go, and something shows up from there. And you bash out an idea, you just hum it out, and then that's the miracle of it for me. I mean, why I enjoy doing Bollywood music is, literally I could be humming something in my shower one morning, and 3 weeks later it's a song and it's on television and the whole country is hearing it and singing. For me, that's an amazing payoff. Far more than the money. Far more than the money is the fact that you put out your music to such a wide audience. And also, let's not beat about the bush. I mean, at the end of the day, living well is something everybody aims to achieve. And there's no shame in that. It's a good thing that Bollywood pays money. I'm very fortunate to be able to do that. I don't disrespect it at all. I believe, for whatever it's worth, that also that globally speaking, like it or not, everyone has to admit that Bollywood is the first frame of reference for Indian culture, modern Indian culture, and it does open a whole bunch of doors. I mean, today I can go to LA and meet anyone I want. I have. A couple of years ago, Shekhar and I just went and we met everybody, from the Black Eyed Peas to Kanye West to Timbaland to, we just hung out,
and they're cool to kind of interact.
Yeah, but you look at our record. We've sold like 100 million records. Many of them haven't. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, I mean, it certainly does open quite a few doors. And then of course that Chammak Chalo that we did with Akon.
Yes.
That's a point of reference for everybody, because even though Akon was known here, that made Akon like
even more popular.
Yeah, Akon can play in Raipur now. You know what I'm saying? Which was pretty much an impossibility earlier. No, but he's made a pile of cash on that, So at the end of the day, the whole LA circuit is, it is a business, you know, just like Bollywood is here. You know, the pop circuit or the hip hop circuit or the dance music circuit, it is a business. Everyone's looking out for the next chunk of change. And when you tell them that there's 1.2 billion people in India, and we have access to that in a way that you can never have because it's our language and our people and our vibe, you know, and we've done it many times. You get a lot of respect, man.
That's cool.
Yeah.
You all work with various programmers
Yeah.
who kind of make your song. You know?
Yeah, absolutely true.
So how is it that you choose somebody, or is it a team that has been set for years? And
I mean, Abhi's our go-to guy. Abhijit Nalani is the man.
Right.
As far as we are concerned, we've been working with him since 2002. I think he's a little sick of us now, to tell the truth. But I mean, he's been as instrumental to the Vishal and Shekhar vibe as Vishal and Shekhar are. We say it on stage because we also perform together. Abhi travels with us, and we say it everywhere. I mean, for whatever it's worth, Abhijit, it should actually be Vishal Shekhar and Abhijit. It's just that he joined later. You know what I'm saying? So it's literally like that.
Right.
He's as much a pillar of this as the two of us are. And a lot of other great musicians who helped us along the way, whether it's you know, John Stewart, or whether it's you know, Sandeep Shirodkar, or whether it's Jackie, of course. And yeah, I mean, they've all done fabulous work with us and for us. And Clinton even. Just, I mean, there's phenomenal talent. And to be honest, I mean, we are always grateful that we get to ride on the backs of giants. I mean, they are musically far more sort of evolved and you know, experienced, and it's a you know, sort of it really does add a lot. Like a good programmer can define the fate of a song.
That's true.
You know, and to use the word programmer is actually a bit it's underrating them. They are the producers of the song. You know, they would be known globally as the producers of the song, and we would be known as the songwriters. You know, although we do jump in on the production aspect as well, but I think more than often they all tell you that we tend to fuck things up. No, but it's a sort of, it's a give and take. Like in any sort of you know, in any enterprise where people are collaborating, it is a genuine collaboration with all of them, and they've just been, you know, we've worked with so many programmers and or arrangers or, you know, producers, however you want to.
But you kind of tell them that I want an electronics feel to this song of mine.
Yeah, of course.
That kind of
course. See, we go in with a complete brief. Usually Shekhar and I also go in with a scratch. You know, so that's the start point as well. And then of course there are times we go in with nothing and we write the song right there as well.
Okay.
Yeah, but I mean it's completely flexible.
Okay.
But we do go in with an idea of where we want to go with it. You know, or what we want it to sound like, or what the vibe of it is.
But not even deciding what instruments you want, or do you want live instruments to be recorded? That kind of, you know.
I think that's a call that we all take together during the production process.
Okay.
While the song is being put together, we say, "Acha, yahan pe ye karenge." You know, we'll do this here. Or
but you do record live instruments in your songs?
Yeah. I mean,
they're required.
For whatever it's worth, you can't really replace. I genuinely believe this. You cannot replace live instruments with samples. You cannot. I mean, samples may be tweaked to perfection, and they may be, you know, kick-ass in terms of sound and recorded in the best studios in the world, but a musician playing in a basic studio with a basic miking setup and whatever, just playing to the song, and the kind of energy that brings is that it just, you know, it kind of opens up everything. You know, whether it's you know, Gino, or, you know, whether it's Raju Sadar playing dholak or whatever, any sort of live instrument, you know, whether it's Bapi playing guitar or Warren, or anyone, they all have the capability to kind of just regenerate a song from, you know, just from their playing and their vibe, you know, and that's irreplaceable.
We have a lot of these young bands from various parts of the country who kind of feel a little disillusioned in today's times when they don't get much opportunities as an independent band or a musician to make it that big. Reason being, their songs don't reach to a lot of people. Though many are using YouTube, many are trying to sell their own music using iTunes, etc. That's another.
Well, no, I mean, for whatever it's worth, you have Sanam Puri I heard on YouTube for the first time. Jonita Gandhi I heard on YouTube for the first time. So it's definitely an effective way of getting your music out. Or at least getting yourself heard. As far as people being disillusioned are concerned, like I said, I mean, if you're being a musician, the music is the reward. So you need to chill out and kind of grow into it. Arijit, who is now Arijit Singh, is a kid who was on Fame Gurukul and who won Fame Gurukul. I think Shekhar and I had gone as guest judges. I think it was in 2005 or 6.
10 years ago.
Yeah. And in all that time, he's done nothing but live in music. He's been Pritam's assistant for a long time. He's become quite an accomplished instrumentalist and a producer as well himself. And I'm sure there must have been times where he's been frustrated as well or whatever. But everything has its own time. I don't remember who it was who said that. I think there's a management thing that says when you've put 10,000 hours into something, then you're good at it. You know what I'm saying? So it's like
3 years of business, then the business will...
Yeah, so chill, relax, grow into it. You know what I'm saying? There's no... if people are disillusioned, all I can say to them is, just breathe. It's okay. Music is like I said, music is its own reward. Good or bad, no one can take away the fact that you have music. When you're alone, you're never alone. That's the magic of music. You can write a song at any time. If you're happy, you write a song. If you're sad, you write a song. If you're angry, you write a song. It all shows up in songs. And that's if I wasn't an atheist, I would say it's a gift. But it's a quality that you've been given, that you have within you, that many people are not able to access. So a musician is the last person who should be disillusioned or bitter, because you have something it's magical. It's magic, literally. You create something out of absolutely nothing. Even a carpenter needs wood to make a stool. A musician needs nothing. It's just air that you're molding into into an emotion. It's beyond science, It's magical. Yeah.
You spoke initially about being very angry in your childhood and you were kind of eccentric maybe.
Not eccentric, I was a gunda. Yeah.
Oh, gunda. Yeah. Okay. So I'll ask this question carefully. You're very active on social media in terms of tweeting and
yes.
Using Facebook, etc. You take up social issues also very strongly, and you come across with a lot of aggression. Is the perception of...
I have very little patience for stupidity, tell the truth. I don't mean to be aggressive, and if I come across as aggressive, I apologize. I guess it's in my nature in one way or the other to be blunt. Which is often seen as arrogance or aggression.
There's no sugarcoating.
No, why? If you don't like me for my views, don't like me, I don't care. At the end of the day, I've always been like that, ever since I was a kid. What's right is right and what's wrong is wrong, and that is self-defining and self-explanatory. You don't have to, if you believe in what you're doing, you don't have to defend it, or you don't have to kind of sugarcoat it, like you said, or you don't have to kind of, I'm fortunate that I've been, granted an audience by so many people, and I do believe that for whatever it's worth, that is something that is to be used for a greater good or a greater cause. Many people may not agree with me, but that's fine. Yeah.
That doesn't change you.
I can't change it. Aisa hu, waisa hu. You know what I'm saying?
Right. We also heard that when you sing for other composers, the money that you get, you donate it to some NGO.
There's a charity I work with called Music Basti. I've done a couple of workshops with them. Not nearly enough, sadly. I would like to do many more. But
what kind of workshops have you?
They teach street kids music. And what I found it's very sneaky in the sense of when you teach a kid music, inadvertently, without knowing it, the kid learns to count. And the kid learns to write. If you have to write a sargam, you have to write and read.
It's a mathematical...
And music is mathematics in a way, So, there's addition, multiplication, all of that, fractions, you learn all of it without knowing you're learning it. When I saw it for the first time, it blew my mind, So whatever I can do to support Music Basti, I do, and I request everyone to please find Music Basti on the net, because they are struggling. It's run by young people, good people, solid people who are doing a genuinely great job. Anyone can go to Delhi and meet them. There's a girl called Faith who runs the organization. get in touch with her. She's on my friends list on Facebook and whatever. I mean, Faith Gonzalez, find her and go check this out, man. It's unbelievable. It'll change your life. And you'll see music in a way that you never saw it before. It's cool that you do it and you learn it and whatever, but to see it light up a kid's eyes is the next level. So yeah.
We have a lot of now music is not sold on CDs. I mean, or at least not bought on CDs anymore. We have a lot of Indians who feel that music is free. I'm talking.
Indians feel everything is free.
Yeah,
Dude. That's what we do.
It's like if you're my neighbor, how can I not be invited to your show?
Yeah.
So you have to give me a VIP ticket for that.
Yeah, that happens.
So
everywhere you go, that happens.
Correct. So it's maybe an Indian mindset or.
No, it happens across the
like
world.
this,
Yeah. It's not like that. It happens across the world. It's cool. I mean,
So-
people are people. It's everyone's looking for freebies. The downloading phenomenon is not just Indian.
Correct.
There
There are a lot of people who think that music is not to be bought also. I know a lot of college kids who say, oh, I just got it on Bluetooth from my friend. That's their exposure to buying music today is share with others.
Man, I read a really interesting article a couple of years ago. I wish I could remember the names, man. Getting old. But what it said was really interesting. What it said is that the act of making music and the act of listening to music is always free.
Mm-hmm.
So if I take a guitar and I play you a song, that's free.
Right.
You listening to that song is free. The transaction that occurs is because of the interest generated in this act. In the sense of people attach value to this because they feel that there's a larger audience and we can access that audience via this. And that is the value of the future. It's not about capturing music on a little piece of plastic and you're hoarding it till you sell it. That's what the record labels have been doing.
Yes.
Historically speaking.
Yes.
It's because it's not in the air that they've been actually locking it in a cupboard, and until you pay them they'll take out and give you a piece.
Correct.
So that system is crumbling, and it's something that we do need to understand and adapt to. That revenues of music in future will be generated by the interest in that music. When I say that, I mean, say for example, when you do a concert, there's a sponsor who pays for all of that, who pays for the band, who pays. Why? Because he wants to access your audience. He can't get on stage and perform himself. He needs the performer to do that. Similarly, there are sponsors who will pay you just to have their name on a song that you do, that people may listen to for free. People may not pay for the song, but a corporation or an entity or whoever is interested in tapping into your audience will pay you to create that song. I mean, for whatever it's worth, it's a market system, and as markets evolve, you kind of need to grow into that. No biggie.
Okay. So do you see that independent artists exploring new methods to sell their own music online and all will help them sustain themselves, or that's not the path they should?
Independent artists have always explored new methods because the old methods are close to them anyway. So they have to locate new ways to find an audience, to get their music heard, and eventually to kind of earn a living from their music. That's what independent artists do.
Right.
They are self-sufficient in that way, or they're getting there anyway. For sure, I think that independent artists should seek out newer methods. They are also actually the great inventors in the music business because they have no fear. Since it's a personal enterprise and it's not commercial, you can leap off any cliff. As an
For example,
independent artist.
Pentagram, as a band itself, is also an independent entity.
Exactly.
So how did you what are the things, I mean, in a nutshell, you did so that you all got noticed?
Actually, we didn't do anything, dude. We just played and we practiced really hard. And we wrote songs. From the first day that we got together, we were never a cover band. We wrote songs from day one. Good, bad, ugly, whatever it is. We, again, like I said, we grew into it. Like we were formed in '94, and our first album came out in '96, which is unbelievable for an Indian band. But we spent easily over a year and a half or 2 years playing 8 to 10 hours a day. Not because it was an exercise, not that we are going to lock ourselves in a room and play, but because we enjoyed it, And if you do love it, kind of things tend to happen. I mean, I believe that. So we met a guy at a show. He said, "Do you want to record deal?" We were like, "Okay," literally like that, you know. And then he said, "Okay, now we don't have so much money. We'll give you 15 days to write your first album, 17 days to write your first album in studio." So we were like, no idea how long it takes, no idea how long it'll take us. We had 2 songs when we went in, and we had to write a whole album. We went in and we wrote. You know what I'm saying? Make the leap. It's, you know, then you see where you land. It's like that.
Thanks for this. I think a lot of bands who are listening to you might get inspired and do different things to
I mean,
reach out to more people.
yeah, a lot of bands are doing far bigger things than we, you know, did back in the day. I mean, young bands these days, the writing, my God, it's really evolved. I'm so proud to have been sort of an early part of that scene, you know, and that's just some amazing shit going on. It's actually a really great time to be in music. No matter how much the old guys whine and wail about it, the fact of the matter is that there is stuff going on today that is setting music free off the boundaries of Bollywood, off the boundaries of independent music, off the boundaries of rock, off the boundaries of electro. It's all up in the air, and anyone can do anything, and no one's being judged harshly for breaking a genre. When we initially got into the whole electronica thing with Pentagram, my God, I can't tell you the kind of shit we had to face, you know. But now everybody does it, you know. So it's awesome.
Anything else you'd like to share with the viewers as to in terms of who are musicians or engineers or...
Yeah, don't take yourself so seriously, man. Just have a good time. You know, I mean, I firmly believe that. If it wasn't fun, I wouldn't do it. The day music becomes work, you may as well get a job. You know, the whole point of it is that you want to be a bum and you want to just say what's on your mind and you want to kind of sing it. You know, that's why you're a musician. So just don't get hectic about it. It's not the purpose of music is to elevate, not to kind of crush your spirit. That's all.
Thanks, Vishal, for your time.
Thank you, man.
Thank you for all your inputs and
Thank you.
thoughts.
I hope it was useful and I hope I don't get banned for it.
We'll see. Thanks.
Check it out.
Thank you.
All right, man.